And right back in your face. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. I can't stand Keith. Keith's so annoying. Nonetheless, Keith's glad to see you. I hope everyone had a good day, a good week. We progressed really nicely on things as far as charts go. Beard's getting a little long and scraggly. Sorry. I got to work on that. I'm trying to grow it out. You guys know the bet. You guys know that I said I would keep the beard for the bull run. It's starting to piss the fam off. So anyway, good to see everybody. Hope you had an awesome week. Got a lot to talk about. Want to reiterate what we've been talking about before. Kind of go over a couple charts here, see a few things. Why not? Welcome to Crypto After Dark. Please go do me a solid. Go hit like. It costs nothing to hit like and not be a hater. While you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from now on.
Bruh.
Nobody wants to hear you miss anything. You know what I'm saying? Because if you miss these live streams, it really only hurts you.
Come on, man.
Exactly. Same thing I said. So anyway, things were doing just wonderful at the beginning of the week. However, over the last couple hours, last couple days, you could say the last less than 60 hours, right? We've seen some interesting developments in the charts. Things have started to slow down and roll back over. But I don't want to panic everyone, because I think by looking at the charts, things are going to be just fine here. I see pretty good confluence of what I was hoping to see. Things seem to be progressing well, and I'm not too much worried. And I'll explain what I mean as we go along here. If you haven't done so, why is the garbage throw up thing staying on there? I don't know, but I kind of want to leave it. I don't even know what button that is. Oh, there it is that one. That was pretty dope though. That was like a Halloween prank, and I didn't even push the button. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? Get him with the Shaggy. So I've got my regular Bitcoin chart pulled up here with lots of drawings on it. I want to step back for a moment and just look at the clean version of this chart, which is just a regular Bitcoin chart on Binance. All right, if we're looking at the cloud, the Ichimoku cloud, we talk about the Ichimoku cloud all the time. I love the Ichimoku cloud strategy. It's very simple and basic, and it takes all the risk out, right? It makes it way less risky and way easier to see what is or isn't happening. What we see on the Ichimoku cloud here is still 4 out of 4. Your lag line is still a mile over the candles. Excellent. Your green cloud on the end is not red. It is green on the end, which is exactly what we want to see. Blue line over red, which is conversion line over base. And last but not least, the actual candles are over the cloud. 4 out of 4. Not only that, it's not even close to failing any one of those 4 out of 4, is it? It's not, no. In fact, it's actually flying high. Furthermore, we step it out a little bit here and we go to weekly. I know that's an ugly candle on the weekly. I get it. We still have 3 days to go in this weekly candle, even though the monthly just changed, which is exactly what we'll talk about in a moment, how the monthly swapped over, right? But not yet. Right now, pressing all-time high, haven't broken through all-time high. It's thinking about making a move and getting through, but it hasn't done it yet. Okay. Some will argue that we broke all-time high. We didn't close anything, even on a 1 hour chart. I think it got a wick up on like the 15-minute maybe, but that's about it. So I'm not going to call that all-time high until I see a close above. What I will say is, you kind of go back and look here. This is previous cycle all-time high in November. That's the one fib that I've pulled all these Fibonacci retracements from. Doesn't really want to get through it. As you can see, it's having a hard time. I didn't expect it to just snap its fingers and blow through. I thought it might have a fight on its hands, and that's exactly what it's got. It's a good old-fashioned fight. The yellow line you see here is the highest closing that we've had, which was March. And it closed at 71,300. Obviously, we closed under that. Okay. Stepping it out to the monthly. I was hoping with 2 days left, I was talking about this in the Discord. I was like, hey man, if this thing can just close a higher high than it did before, oh, we're titties, and we can literally put it in cruise control and just not worry about it. And then what did it do? Just did not close a new high. Close. Looks like it's going to take another couple weeks for this thing to close above the high. And by close above the high, I mean the monthly chart, not the weekly. It just didn't quite have enough juice. What I do like is the very beautiful back test of this one fib so far. See the one fib right there. Currently, all we've done is come back down on it and give it a smooch. That's perfectly fine. No worries. I'd like to see it go farther, obviously up, but I'm okay with what I see so far. So far, all this thing has done is what I call setting a wick. What is setting a wick? Every single one of these candles that you see right here, every single one of them, is not just a bar. It's a bar with a wick on the top. That's no different for any one of these candles here. Do you see that? None of them are without wicks. Some of them are very, very large wicks, aren't they? Some of these, like this one right here, was freaky as hell while it was happening, right? Well, guess what? We've created the little tiny wick so far on this monthly chart. You can see the little nipple hanging down there at the bottom. Little bitty shit hanging right there at the bottom. So far, it's fine. It's fine. It's going to take a little bit of time to work its way out. We've got a lot happening in the next several weeks here. There's a bunch of forex news tomorrow. And then elections are only 5 days away. And depending on what echo chamber you want to be in, it looks like one side's starting to run away with it a little bit. And if that's the case, that happens to be the side that's chirping the loudest about crypto. I'll say this. I'm apolitical when it comes to this stuff. I've said who I'm going to be voting for. I'll be voting for Trump. It doesn't really matter here for me in South Carolina. This is a red state, whether I vote for him or not. And you can argue the differences in this, that, and the other. It's more than just a one-party thing, one issue thing for me. But crypto is the most important issue to me. Whether he can do it or not, or says he's going to do it, is one thing. But the fact that we're even talking about not paying taxes on crypto is huge. Massive importance level to me, who plans on making a lot of money at this and who will need to eventually cash some of this stuff out and use it in the real world. If you can make that tax-free, that would be a boondoggle of amount of money for me that I'm going to have to give away to the government as my fair share. I'd like my fair share to be as small as possible. I don't mind paying taxes. It's an important part of our economy. It doesn't work without it. However, I don't want to pay any more than I gotta. You know what I'm saying? So if they're going to make it tax-free, I'm here for that. If you're voting for the other side, that's perfectly fine with me too. I support you picking who you want to pick. Honestly, this is our American right. I'm sorry, American privilege. It's our American privilege to go do this and go to the polls and vote like this. Some of you will say it's a right. Some of you will say it's a right, and I'll say it's not. I'll say it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to live in this country and do what we do and make it as far as we've made it. It really is. Before any of y'all get all in your feelings, I don't want to hear it. There's a lot of things I disagree with about both candidates, so miss me with the BS. We can always go one-on-one on it and talk about it on a different time. Strictly relating to crypto, the side that's chirping the loudest about it is the side I'm going to go with. That's the one that stands to make me the most amount of money and to foreseeably help my life, help my family, help my future the most. Okay, cool. Back to the charts. We already hit like. By the way, about 40 people on here. Only 16 people have hit like. Go hit like, man. It's free. It don't cost nothing to go hit the like button. All right. And if you don't hit like, you're a loser. Nelson Muntz said so. Not really. You're not really a loser. You're garbage. Can you say that?
Come on, man. Bruh.
I said it anyway. All right. I'm not upset about this chart. Again, I would have liked a higher close. It didn't happen. I'll take what I can get. Is what it is. By the way, I hung up my Hornets jerseys in the background, but you can't see them because the damn little lights are so bright. So I got to rearrange shit so you can see the Hornets jerseys, right? Yeah, whatever. Let me go to the chat real quick and pop this out. Because as always here, folks, I want you to talk. I want you to come on. I want you to be a part of what we do. Come say hi. Come agree. Come disagree. Come say hi in the chat. I want everyone to participate as much as possible here. This is not the Keith Show. It's the 786 Assassins, all right? What's up, Big Fish? Good to see you. Mago, Gimme Zell. What's up, my friend? King of Light, how are you? Jordan Paradise Music, good to see you back in the fold. Panda, Quinny Jen, Phonetic Duck, Cody Kinsel. What's up, Raging Beagle? He was out scaring people with the ghillie suit tonight. I gave away a shit ton of candy bars. I have some left over. That's the ones I have left over right there. It's about 100 left. I gave about 400 of them away. Isn't that crazy? So I've got a little bit left. I'm probably taking them to the school and donate them to the school. Mago, Raging Beagle. Golden Tall Man, good to see you, brother. No Shave November, bro. I'm doing my best here. I'm trying. You understand what I'm saying? It's not easy. This beard's got about that much length to it. It's starting to curl under, which is where it gets annoying. Don, man, what's up, brother? Good to see you, Kev. Blues Jr. Ron Poteet, men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Bow! Boy, that's the best way to put that shit. Let's go. My man hitting with the, I guess that's poetry. I guess. I don't know.
What the hell is even that?
I don't know, but it sounded good. Back down to the daily is the worst looking. You know, the weekly, whatever. It's just started. It's fine. This daily is the worst looking, but it's not that bad. Looking at the previous one fib right here, so far, like I said, what we've done is come back and back tested it. It was a very aggressive back test, just like it was a very aggressive move up. You ran up here, pretty much liquidated almost every short that existed. Not quite. You didn't get them all, but you got most of them. This was the last short box. And as you see, we pushed up into this last short box, but we didn't eliminate all them shorts. All we did was kind of spook them. We did eliminate the first two sets of shorts. They got wiped. Nothing left but these up here. Now, they come in heavy, obviously. They still got to get liquidated. It hasn't quite happened just yet. By coming back down, you also liquidate a lot of the longs who were getting cute here, thinking they were going to run the pack and go nothing but up and go straight up in the air, and it didn't work, right? So all we've done is come back down, test that one fib. It also came back down to this short-term low time frame support right here. If you pull fibs on these, you'll see that there's a lot of 50% retraces right here, which is perfectly fine. Tracking the way it should be, looks fairly normal. I had TradingView throw me some weird errors right before I came in here, so I don't have my normal 3x3 chart up here showing our comparison. So I'll just save that for next week. It's fairly obvious what's happening, though. We've went over that week after week, talking about how the comparisons look from 2016, 2020, and now. I could pull it back up. It's not worth the time. There's nothing much changed. So far, we're floating at about 1% for the day. Again, for the weekly, it's a few percent. Not so much my concern. Simply waiting now, after you created what would be a quote-unquote order block candle, which was an inside candle at the top. You've had a very, very sharp, rapid drop back down. This is some forex type principles. Very, very sharp drop back down after an order block candle, which was an inside candle at the top. Now you've rolled back down to support. Now it has to make another decision. That was our first decision, this order block candle. Now we have to make another decision. We're going to come back down through support and push farther. We're going to stop here after catching longs in a trap here, a bull trap. Or are we going to go sideways and work our way back up? That's going to take a couple days to pan out. Again, November 1st starts in 45 minutes. All right, the chart already on November 1st. That means you got 5.5 days before the election is finalized. And I think we're all smart enough to know they're going to finalize this one pretty quickly. While they can try to delay it with counting and all this other stuff, I'm pretty sure we know they're going to be able to do a little bit faster this time. Surely they won't play that game again.
Come on, man.
Maybe they will. Nonetheless, there's a lot riding on this. In case you guys don't know about Polymarket or Kalashi or whatever it's called, Kashali, however you say it, I'm not sure. Both of those, you can go bet on those if you'd like. Also, if you want to, you can go over to Emoja Protocol, hop on Emoja, and place a synthetic derivative on whether you think Bitcoin's going up or down and hedge your bets. You think all this is going up, but you're not sure? You can take a small short position, and you'd have really, really benefited from this one. Cut your short, take your profits, and add it to your long, making more than you had to begin with, right? Synthetic options are awesome. Rob and the guys over at Emoja, very good people. They've been nothing but kind to me. They don't have to do that stuff, but they did. It means a lot to me. Total cap. The top assets. We do total cap and then dominance here. Stepping out a little bit on total cap here. This is the same move that Bitcoin's been basically working its way through. We've recently had this breakout, and I know that's an ugly weekly candle. Again, got to make its mind up on what it wants to do. Might need a little bit of time to bed its way in here, but I do think this is eventually going to continue going up. It's only a matter of time. $2.5 trillion is still my target level. We haven't quite got there yet. We got the 2.42. That's not quite 2.5. I think it's got more in the tank. Needs a little bit more energy to get there. It didn't quite break out of that golden pocket in linear mode right there. See how that wick perfectly stops right here at the 71 fib. Didn't quite get to that golden pocket, but it will. 2.5 trillion, in my opinion, is a lock here. It's only a matter of time, and I think it's a matter of short time, not long time, before it breaks out and really gets to cooking. Looking at the monthly on this one, not quite as elaborate as what you saw with Bitcoin, but it did make a short-term high, which is great. That means at the worst, you're making a short-term high or low, which is bullish, not bearish. That still lends me to 2.5 trillion. By the way, everyone, I think we have a $5 to $7 trillion bull run here. Say what you want about that. That's what the chart says. You can quote me if you want. I really don't care. Knock yourself out. Save this little clip. That's what you're going to do anyway, because if I'm wrong, you're going to be so happy to barbecue me and say, oh, Keith's cooked. He did this and that, and he said the wrong thing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Fine. I actually believe you. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe you should go check the charts for yourself. Come up with a determination that you can come here and share. Maybe you think I'm wrong. Maybe you think I'm right. I'd love to hear about it. What's up, Colo? More money, says Polyswarm. Yeah. Manolo, what's good? Jeff Thomas, Fritz. Ronan, what's up, bro? Them kids took me for 5 pounds in candy and I heard Rage Raccoons. That's pretty good. Horse Trader, what's up, brother? Good to see you. He says, how? YouTubers lie, Twitter guys lie, charts don't. You got it, brother. That's exactly right. I say it all the time. Don't take my word for it. Retesting the breakout on the weekly downtrend from all-time high. Beautiful. Absolutely, JH. You see it. Ron Poteet, can't take credit for it. Steve Courtney saying it. It's one of my favorites, right? Hey, folks, what's up? Crypto. What's Crypto talking about? That's Jeremy. That's my cousin. Teddy KGB. Hi, Keith. Live from the UK. Good to see you, brother. That's dope. Tell your friends about it. Share the link around. I got the link pinned at the top of the chat. Jump in there and share that shit around. Let everybody else see it. All right? So, Bitcoin dominance. This was what really kicked me off the last couple of days, bro, was Bitcoin dominance absolutely flexing on the market. We've talked about this extensively, Bitcoin dominance. Getting up here to the 618 fib like it's done, getting to the 68 fib like it's done. What do I mean by like it's done? Well, this also happened back here in 2020. As you see the date, December 2020, January 2021, which was the new year of the bull market, which is what we're about to do now. We saw the same thing kind of happen back then. Push up towards 68 to 71% dominance, stopped, and then reversed down. My only thing here is things have changed just ever so slightly. We have ETFs now. You could argue that there's about 20 to 25% more dollar volume than at the same time last cycle. If that's the argument, I would understand that, and I would say that's probably a fairly good argument. I shouldn't really argue back with you about that. So, taking that into account, it's fully possible that not only do we run up to the 71 fib, which is at the top of that green box. See the top of that green box? Top of this green box? Same thing here. Not only could we run up to that, but it's possible that we run up to the 786 fib here and give that a wick, a smooch, and then roll back from there. All right, if I put it in linear, you'll see that it's not a far stretch to say perhaps 63% gets hit in linear or log. It's not much different, but you see 64.2 is a 786 in log mode, and in linear it's 66%. So there's a little bit of difference there. I don't think it would be unheard of for this thing to push up here and attempt to crack through. That's not a guarantee. Just a little bit of deeper thinking that I've been trying to go on Bitcoin dominance here and look a little closer. Daily wise, she's still running like a champ. You got a bearish engulfing happening today, but I want you to look back in history and note that it's been doing bearish engulfings a lot and just pushes right on through. It is overbought on the daily, but it's also been pushing through overbought on the daily. We have brand new pivot points that just started this month, aka 3 hours ago. That pivot point is 60.39, 61.14, and 62.35, all of which are fully available targets. For failure, we're looking at 59.18. Then the trend line, which I think is very important here. Then the S1 at 57, then the S2 at 57.2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Slow rollback failure that will eventually come in, but I think that does take a little bit of time. First and foremost, we're still in this green box on dominance, and until this changes, Bitcoin is still the king. It doesn't matter what you think, what you like, what you love, what you know, still Bitcoin show. All right, so that's total dominance, Bitcoin dominance. We'll look at Ethereum here in a moment. Make sure I got the comments pulled up. 50 y'all in here, bro. Go hit like, dog. What's the deal? Y'all know how to go hit like? Why y'all scared? Don't be scared.
Bruh.
So yeah, come over, hit like. The more likes we get, the more this goes around. The more this goes around, the more YouTube shares it for free, and the more people learn and come together and make more money. Right? I want everybody to make the maximum amount of money this time. I think a lot of people have slept on crypto here and don't realize what's coming. And then there's also some people in the background, I think, that are watching, but they're watching silently. And those silently watching people, when we get to the top of the bull run, are going to be ready to cut bait and dip out, just like I am. I hope y'all are. That's why we come do these. So no blow off top. We won't know about blow off tops until all the way next year in summer. Then we can start talking about that. Till then, we're a mile away from that. One step at a time, I like to say. The Stairmaster won't conquer itself. You got to go one step at a time. And that's no different for what we do. Let's look at Ethereum, which has been pretty bad. I can say that with some vitriol. It's been pretty bad. It's not as bad as it looks. It's just taken forever. Okay, it's done this before, where it's sitting idles and thinks about it before it eventually, finally pops up and moves. And I think we're getting close to the time where Ethereum makes its move. It's taken a little longer than I thought it would, but that's par for the course, I guess. It's not the end of the world. We needed a good retrace for Ethereum, and we have gotten it. The good news is it's still holding above that trend line right there. And if I segment this off into quarters, you'll see that I've got, a color-coded system here. I don't have the words on it, but essentially green is halving. Blue is the end of the bull run. Yellow is our quote-unquote bottom area. It's not perfect, obviously. It's a bit better for Bitcoin, but they're just progression lines. Progression lines in the cycle. If I add a few of them in here and I go about halfway there, that's the end of the year. We'll make that one orange. And right about here would be the same thing. And as you see, this thing already had quite a bit of pull from halving to the end of the year. We haven't really done much yet with Ethereum, which makes me wonder how much longer. I do think it's going to start moving up soon. And I do think it's probably going to head toward all-time high, trend toward all-time high. And then we'll see how far it goes. Bitcoin is still the king of the show right now. And while ETFs exist and Ethereum has more money than it had in it before, there's still way more money in Bitcoin. Ethereum dominance is only around 13%, where Bitcoin dominance is dwarfing it at 60%. That's a pretty big spread. It's a pretty big spread. That tells you that there's really only one real crypto, and then there's a bunch of altcoins. Obviously, that's not the case. Bitcoin and Ethereum are not going anywhere. You don't publicly trade Bitcoin and Ethereum for them just to disappear and not stay around. So, yeah, I expect that Ethereum does good things later on, especially next year. I think things really pick up next year. It's only a matter of time. We're going to have a great bull run. Y'all got to just sit back, relax, and enjoy it a little bit and not be too panicky and not too freak outy. All right. By the way, holler in the chat if you're happy that the Yankees lost. You heard me. I hate the Dodgers.
Bruh.
You got Freddie Freeman. You took Mr. Brave.
Bruh.
Freddie Freeman. Put him in the World Series, and he hit better than everybody else. Y'all forgot about Freddie Freeman because y'all wanted to talk about the Korean killer. Fine, but you forgot about Freddie Freeman.
Bruh.
You don't pitch to Freddie Freeman in the clutch. What are you thinking, Yankees? What are you thinking, Aaron Boone? Why would you pitch to Freddie Freeman.
bruh,
You don't pitch to vets, especially Dodger vets. What are you thinking? Have you ever heard of Kirk Gibson? Boy, Aaron Boone looks like a fool. I'm not pitching to Freddie Freeman. So worried about all the other players, you forget about the guy they went after to get from the Braves. And it really sucked when we got rid of Freddie Freeman, and that hurt my feelings, man. Same time we got Matt Olson. Matt Olson ain't no clutch, big-time playoff hitter like Freddie Freeman is, though. That's some bitch with the baseball bat in his hands. Mean, dude. Freddie Freeman don't play. More people see this stuff, more money goes into crypto, which will be good. Absolutely. Don says, Hopium train getting ready. That's pretty good. I knew this stream was for mostly charts. Harvey, can you talk about the whole concept you talk about with the first push, second push? Well, yep, sure we can. Or possibly point to a video you made. Haven't really made a video about it. Yeah, got to give Freeman his flowers. Music is a little loud tonight. Well, let's bump it down just a touch, shall we, Josh? How about that? A little bit smoother listening for you. Is that better? I turned it down about 20%. I got a little meter over here I can turn it down with. So, yeah. What I'll expound on a little bit here is we'll do total cap. All right. So essentially what Jordan was asking about was kind of talk about how the cycle works. So typically Bitcoin runs first. And the reason we say that is we can go back and look at the chart and see Bitcoin dominance usually goes pronounced and runs up before everything else. Bitcoin usually determines where everything goes up or down all throughout the day. We know this because we live it every single day, right? We see Bitcoin go up 1%. We see all kind of alts jump 4 or 5. We see Bitcoin go down 1%. We see alts go down 5 or 6. Bitcoin has to start the show. Bitcoin already teasing all-time high while alts are still floundering around and not doing much lets me know that Bitcoin's still in charge, and until we see that shift, you're not going to get new money coming to the space just yet. New money not only wants to get in at all-time high, but they also want to get in at as low a price as they can once all-time high is broken. That's just kind of the way the emotional investor works. So first, usually after halving, we have a lull period, which we've already had. Then we start Q4. Q4 typically leads our up. We can have up through Q4 until the end of the year. As you see back here in 2020, Q4 ran all the way up until January, when right about here, we hit a little bit of a snafu. For the first couple weeks of January, it was ugly. And then before you know it, snap your fingers, all that was erased in 1 week, right? From there, we should have another push till roughly tax time. I'm honing that in the best I can right now. It looks like late Feb, early March is when we'll have our bit of a topping pattern here. And that doesn't mean we stop. That just means we short-term slow down. So first is the beginning of the year. That's our first push. Second push should be toward tax time. Alts will be slightly after that each time. Okay. They're going to ride Bitcoin's coattails all the way up for the first full push. Then we see Bitcoin dominance start to slip. When we see Bitcoin dominance start to slip, we get these kind of patterns where we get very aggressive pullbacks. Now, depending on how far this tax time pullback is, that's what I'm going to call it, tax time pullback, depending on how aggressive this is, determines whether or not we have a blow off top or we don't. If we hold the weekly 21 EMA, if we hold this weekly 21 EMA, I'm not recording this, by the way, because I want everyone who's here to watch this and see this first, and fuck everyone who didn't show up. And if you do show up late, I appreciate you watching, but you should have been here for the live stream. You know what's up. We stay up for late grown-up hours specifically so y'all can come watch this with no kids, no noise. All you got to do is stay up a little late. And don't give me no excuses about how you can't do it. You can, you just don't want to, which tells me you're not as serious about making money as I am. So whenever you get as serious as me, you'll see exponential gains. That's the way this works. You got to be serious, though. But if we see this fail the 21 EMA, it's got to fight for its life just to get back up here. However, if this holds the 21 EMA, we may have that blow off top we're looking for. That's later. As you see, that was our pullback in tax time until summer. Summer hits and we really take off and sprint pretty much till the end of the year. And you think, oh, well, that's just that year, Keith. That's not every time. Good point. Let's go back and look at the charts. All right, so here's our last cycle, last halving. Our last halving was somewhere around July 16, July 26th. I want to say July 19th or something like that. 2016 is somewhere around in there. Nonetheless, you had a little bit of a lull period, and then you see things start to really take off October, November, December, until we get to January, and you see 2 good hard weeks of pullbacks. All right, it holds on to the 821 EMA. It never lets go, and it stays above the 21 EMA the entire time. After it stays above the 21 EMA, it continues to push throughout the spring. Instead of failing, throughout the spring stays going and going and going all the way till the end of the year. I do not expect this pronounced of a bull run. I do not expect this weak of a bull run as we had back here. I don't expect it to be this weak. I don't expect it to be as strong as the first one. I expect a happy medium balance. I think that lends us up towards our $4 to $7 trillion levels, which I think are a lock in only a matter of time. That being said, first up, probably going to be $2.5 trillion, probably going to be $3 trillion, and then we can work our way toward 4.5. But that'll be more toward the end of the year, in my opinion. One step at a time. $100,000 Bitcoin should be about 4.5 trillion total cap. We'll see when we get there. It just depends on what the dominance switches to. I think the dominance will stay up fairly high until the beginning of the year. And that's actually when alt season starts. When we see Bitcoin dominance start to fall off, it's better to be an altcoin than it is to be in Bitcoin. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's the way the market works. And that's the way all economics work, from the top down. You don't let poor people manage the money, and poor people don't do the hiring or the firing. It's always the wealthy people. All right? And the wealthy people are the ones at the top. It's not that complicated. Let me pull the chat back up for you, her. I'm still running on a little bit of a sugar high after all the damn eating Halloween candy with the kids and goofing off and shit. Like, I'm running on a little bit of a sugar high. Can you chart Velo? Not at the moment. No, we're going to go through some other stuff first, but we'll try to get to it. Good point on the failed to see the TA when I was posting the weekly history. Oh, no, it's fine. No. Please continue to post and share. I want to know what everybody's opinions are. Let's go look at next, like we do every single live stream. Let's go look at everyone's favorite XRP stablecoin. I mean XRP. I'm goofing, y'all. I'm playing and having fun. On a real note, it's still in the go time box. That was our buy zone box. Turns out we were right. This is our go time box. Turns out we're probably going to be right. Doubt me if you must, but we were extremely hella accurate with all the XRP TA. You can go back and look at everything that we've said. You can go back and look at everything that we've posted. Talked about this on every single live stream, almost every single live stream. No hopium, no news, none of that needed. We've charted this thing out all the way to where we are right now. How did I know all this was going to happen? Because we have really smart people in our Discord. Combined with me, combined with a few other people, bro, we have a killer combination. We've got guys with eyeballs on almost everything. And because of that, we're able to see stuff a little faster than everyone else is. We're able to compare and contrast different ideas, different strategies. We're able to see what's right and what's wrong this way. We have open minds with each other. We don't argue about it. We discuss it, figure it out, and come up with the best answer. It's really not that complicated. So, as far as XRP goes, I like the fact that it's boiling here and hasn't completely failed, building a bit of a wedge from the top and the bottom, all pointing to this go time box, which brings me to the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands are tightening, but they're not tight yet. And I'll give you a bit of historical relevance here. Here's the same time back in 2020. You have the buy zone. Shortly after the buy zone was the go time zone. I just don't have it drawn on there. Well, I do have it right there, the go time zone. After that go time zone hit, Bollinger Bands got tight. November, pop. How about 2016? Same thing. Buy zone, tight Bollinger Bands. You had your move up, last chance. Go time zone, Bollinger Bands get tight again. Pop, off she goes. Prints like crazy. We've seen this happen already twice. To think that it won't happen again, to think that it won't be TA driven, to think that we won't be able to chart it is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You're conflating subjective with objective. Objectively, I just showed you all the basic TA analysis here that we need. I could go deeper and make it even worse, but that's just going to make you not want to watch even more. You'll give me the subjective, yeah, but have you seen blah, 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 and have you heard that such and such is going to be talking about it? And I think that that's, show me the data. If you don't have data, you don't have anything objective. You have subjective. And subjective me says this microphone is purple and pink and unicorn colored. Obviously it's not, but subjectively I feel like it is. That's the big problem with XRP investors in general. You get caught in the subjective and get lost on what is objective. Objectively, we're about to have a move up here, but it's not because XRP is special. It's because Bitcoin signaled out to everything else that it was time to go up. And that's the way the TA works. It's the way the cookie crumbles. Ain't nothing I can do about it. We will get a move up. We will test 75 cents again, likely test $1 to $1.50. From there, we'll reassess and refigure. We're still a long way out from that. I mean, November is going to be helpful here, but I think it might be mid-November before we get any really solid movement for XRP here. Bollinger Band's going to get a little tighter. We're close. We're counting down the weeks. Every time I do one of these, we're a little bit closer. But again, probably you should have knew this was going to happen when you bought XRP and thought you were going to get rich just because. You should have knew better. Dang. All the XRP talk got me choked up. Damn, Keith, don't cry about it. Oh, excuse me, goodness. I got a dry throat there for a second. What's up, Danny D Pockets? XRP is a good horror story for Halloween. That was pretty good, dude. Also, Fat Fingers, little keyboard. Let's go. XRP is that crypto everyone buys first when they're new, then sells once they know better. You got it, dude. That should be on a t-shirt. My future ex-wife, stupid. Dice Pineapple, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I remember only holding XRP. Started learning TA, now I avoid. It seems like we talked about that in the DMs, didn't we? But I don't remember. I talked to a lot of people. How far did the fib show? It shows $1.50s at Sniper's Alley, which is what I expect. And then beyond that, 3, 5, and 7. But that's probably hopium at this point. We'll see. Trading will make you exponentially more. You got it. It sure enough will. All right, let's look at Velo real quick. People are asking about Velo, not only because did we make good money on Velo, but Velo, people think it's special because it's on Stellar Network, and that means absolute jack shit. But people think that makes it special. It isn't. On that note, Velo is over the main trend line. It is thinking about getting going here, and then it threw that really, really, really ugly weekly candle right there, which gives me rather immediate pause. That's a terrible looking weekly candle right there. If we look at Bollinger Bands, they're not quite tight enough. Like I was saying about XRP, these are probably going to tighten a bit more. If we look at the cloud on the weekly, you failed everything. If we look at the daily, likewise, you failed everything. While we've had a couple good days here, I'm not being fooled by the allure of getting suckered here. I'm still waiting on this one. I think I'll be able to go Bitcoin and then transition into this one from something else. I think there's gains left in Velo. I do. The 200 moving average should be appearing soon. Yeah, it'll start popping up in January. No. It's up there. Yay, 200 moving average is up there. All right. If we only get back to the 786 from here, that's still an 8x. That's pretty darn good. My thought process was if I can get my Bitcoin holdings up to like 20 or 25K, I can take that 20 or 25K and put it into this and potentially make that turn into 10x, right? Or 8x. That'd be great. If I could take 20 grand and then 10x, that's 200K. I'm not sure I'll be able to do that, but I'm going to swing for the fences on it. You know what I'm saying? I think I may have time to go from one back into this. My nose is itching. Excuse Excuse me, goodness. So one step at a time. It almost looks like it may come all the way back to the 382. And if it does come all the way back to the 382 and then wants to work its way up to Sniper's Alley, now that's a 10x. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of gains that I want to see hit my wallet. I don't give a shit what network it runs on. I don't give a shit what the team's doing. If you're going to give me 20% of a million bones, I'm going to take them. Again, my goals are big this bull market. I've talked about this before. There's 48 of y'all on here watching. Almost midnight. I'll shoot straight with y'all for a minute, man. Let's keep it real. We got 4 minutes left here. I want to make $1 million or more. And I've done the math on this. I've looked at the charts and I've seen it. If the charts go to where I think they are, I'm in for a good 1.7 to 2 mil. I don't know that I'll get that. And that's obviously taking profits and having it sit on the ledger. 1.7 is crazy. That's crazy. I'm trying my best to be patient and not do too many buys and sells that are wrong. I have to move some money around because I got stuck in some positions that I didn't want to get stuck in. That's part of the game. So I've been moving around a little bit of money here, there, here. I'm trying to optimize the gains the best I can. I'm hoping to hit $1 million by tax time, which would be incredible. I don't know that I will. I have big plans for later. But one step at a time. I got to take it one step at a time. I'll cry my eyes out when I make $1 million. That's enough money for me to put that into an account, draw off of it, and live for the rest of my life. I'm in South Carolina. Y'all guys know that I don't live a super lash life. I don't. We live a pretty chill life over here. That being said, I will be going out of town Saturday morning. I think we're leaving the house at 3:30 a.m. Because I'm heading to Mexico for 3 days, taking the woman on her basically holiday vacation. She don't want gifts like that anymore. She wants to go do things, go see places. So taking her on a trip, and we'll be there till Tuesday, which is election day. I'll fly back on Tuesday afternoon. I'll be home Tuesday evening. They are speculating that we'll already know who the president is by the end of Tuesday night. So we won't be on a live stream, obviously, by then. We'll be on a live stream Thursday. So by Thursday, we'll know what's up. Where am I going? I'm going to Cozumel again. Me and the wife have a really cool spot we like to go to in Cozumel. Just me and her, no kids. And that's kind of her gift. In case y'all fellas didn't know, women really, really, really love going on trips. So work hard, earn money so that you can afford to take your woman out and do this kind of stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that builds experiences with them that will make them want to be with you forever. I know y'all don't understand that right now. We'll talk about more about that later, way down the line. Not really important right now. Most important thing, hey man, pay attention. Lock in. Get ready. We're about to have a big-ass bull run and make a lot of money. Be ready to take those profits come tax time. Be ready to perhaps cut and run on the beginning of the year if we get some really, really wonky price action. Up to you to do what you want to do. I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to talk about it here on YouTube for everybody to see. Thank all of y'all for coming to watch. It means the world to me that people come on here and want to hear what I got to say. It's crazy as hell, dude, that I'm some dude in South Carolina with this ugly-ass, scraggly-looking beard, and people want to come over here and chop it up and talk charts. That blows my mind. Share it around to everyone. I want to get as many people in here as we can, make as much money as we all can together, and I want us to take profits at the top and be profitable investors. Profitable investors for everyone. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Let's have a better day every day, can we? Shall we? And we shall. Last but not least, man, if ain't nobody else told you today, Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Y'all keep your head up and keep in the game. We're going to make a bunch of money. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Sky's the limit.